And we will start promptly, immediately. Page 64 opens, it is called solving a triangle. Solving a triangle is very simple. All it means is you find all the sides and you find all the angles. Okay? Now, it's difficult to teach this to kids if you guys do not understand what is going on. If you ask me, how do you do this? Then it becomes very difficult both for me to teach it to you and for you to learn how to do it. Because there is no right way to do this. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are steps you can take, but there is no right way to do it. For example, if I needed to drive from here to Vancouver, there is a million different routes we could take, yes? We would all eventually get to Vancouver, but there's no one right way to get there. Understand? So what you have to do when you are faced with all trig questions, actually all math questions, is apply everything you know about math to that situation, because very, very rarely is there a set method you can do to get there. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's always a set method to do what you guys did in grade 2 through 9 math. There's always a set method because that math is easy. But when you get up grade 10 and beyond, there isn't a set thing you can do. All right? So when I'm faced with a problem like this, as always, I write out everything I know. What do I know about that triangle? Ekdeep. Okay, I know I need a hypotenuse. So my hypotenuse equals, it's a variable. I don't know what it is. I'm going to call that hypotenuse little b because it's across from big B, right? Now that's already a problem because usually the hypotenuse, we like to have it labeled as c because we memorize Pythagoras as a squared, b squared, c squared. But it's not going to bother us, is it? What else do we know? Ekdeep told us something we didn't know. I'd like somebody to tell me something we know. Ekdeep again. You know the opposite. Okay, so you're getting there. 41 is the opposite to something. What is it the opposite to? 65. So we have an angle. We have a theta of 65, and we have an opposite of 41. So right there, I have a theta, an opposite, and a hypotenuse, right? Right? So, one second, let me get my, where's that stupid app? It's gone. Give me 1 sec. That app that gives me the little red dot, I like that. I want it back. I already put that on my computer. I would like to have it back. Damn it. I'll have to find it later. Never mind. Okay, so since I have a theta and an opposite and a hypotenuse, what's something I can do now? I can do sine. So I can do sine of theta, 65, equals O, 41, over hypotenuse, which is B. Since the letter's on the bottom, what do I do? What does B equal? Divide. 41 over sine 65. And that's going to give me an answer. What is it? He waited patiently. Yes, Sydney. 37 point. 41 divided by sine 65. I get 45. Now, Sydney, I'm glad this happened to you. How do you know you did it wrong? Not because David and I got 45. But even if you didn't forget the brackets, if you were going to tell me that the hypotenuse was 37, look at the... why can it not be 37? It's long, right? It has to be longer than 41, doesn't it? So you would never keep working with that, would you? You would recognize you did something wrong. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to put you down or anything, but that's something you guys got to see. That's what I mean by understanding the math that's going on. So Sydney made an error, but she's fixed it up now. 45.2, that's fine. Okay, now you have what is still missing. Because solving the triangle means finding all the sides and all the angles. What's still missing? I need this, which would be what side? If we were going to name it properly. Little c, and I need big C's angle, yes? Is there any, which one do I have to do first? Doesn't matter, because I know them both. How will I find big C? Could I use trig? Could I use shift cos? Because I have an adjacent and a hypotenuse. Could I do shift cos for C? Yeah. Yes. That's where I'm going with this, David. I'm going with how many ways you could solve this. Okay? For C, could you do shift cos C? Shift cos of C is 41 over 45.2, isn't it? Could I also do 65 or 90 minus 65 to get C? Doesn't that equal C as well? Why? Why is this C? Haley. All the angles need to add that. What Haley said. And this is 90 of it right there. So we don't care about the first 90 of the 180, do we? So 90 minus whatever's left will give me the third one. Excellent. Okay. What will find me little c? I have a theta. So could I do tan with opposite and adjacent? Would that work? Right. Tan of 65 is 41 over little c, right? Could I do cos of 65 is little c over 45.2? Does that work? Yeah. Does tan of 35 equals little c over 41 work? They all work. All of those 5 things right here are something you could do to finish the question. All of them. Is one better than another? No. Is there an order you need to do this in? No. Who decides? You do. But you have to start somewhere. Everybody with me? So I'm going to shut up about that because you got a page of practice on that. And I'm going to move on to page 65. We are not going to build a clinometer, but we are going to do some trig problems. And I'm going to do a few of them out loud, and then I'm going to shut up and let you guys practice trig and or surface areas and or unit conversions. Okay? All right. You will notice these questions differ from the questions that I've given you up till now. What's different? There's no picture. Right? Most of the questions I've given you in your workbooks have pictures, yes? And what are all those pictures of? They're all a triangle. So what does that tell you that you need for every trig question? A triangle. All you got to do is draw a triangle. Okay? Before you even read the question, you can draw a triangle. There we go. Triangle. Does it have to be perfect? No, it's not art class. The triangle has a 90 degree because we're doing trig, right? Where's my 90 degree? Right there. 90. Now I can do some trig. Ike is standing on a soccer field and looks at the roof of the school. Hey, Harmeet, where's the soccer field? Down here or up in the sky? Yeah, it's down there. People tell me they can't do trig because they don't know how to draw the diagrams. Here is the ground. Here is Ike. He looks at the roof of the school with an angle of elevation. Where do angles of elevation go? Up from where? From the flat, from the horizontal. So where's the only angle that goes up from the horizontal? Is it X or is it Y? It's Y. So angle Y is 30. What else do we know about this triangle? Ike is 42 meters away from the base of the school. From the base of the school. The base of the school is the bottom of the school, right? Is he 42 meters away on the ground or is he 42 meters away up in the sky? On the ground, so that's X, right? So that's 42. Now, can you do the trig? Of course you can. What do you know about this question? You got, start with the angle. Because you can't have an adjacent until you know the angle you're starting from, right? Because if I'm starting up here, I don't have an adjacent, do I, Ekdeep? So, I've got a theta of what? And now, Ekdeep says I got an adjacent of 42. And I'm trying to find how tall the school is. Where is height? Is it straight up and down or is it diagonal? Straight up and down. You don't measure my height by making me lean against the wall like this and measure up the wall, do you? No. You measure straight up and down. So I need the opposite, which in this case is an unknown. What uses A and O? Tan. Tan 30 equals O over A. Numbers on the bottom, so what do? Multiply. 42 tan 30 equals our answer. And you're going to do that yourself while I take a sip of coffee. And then I'm going to answer it as well to make sure. Who has an answer for me? Haley. 24.2 meters. And that's how easy trig is. No matter what, you draw a triangle. That's it. All right. This next question people can't do very well. Abby is flying in an airplane. Where are airplanes? Up in the sky. So I better put Abby 2,500 feet up in the sky, yes? How far away is the town of Mission if Abby sees it below her at an angle of depression of 15? Where is the town? Up in the sky or down on the ground? Down on the ground. Excellent. Here is Mission. Here is the plain. Right? Now I need an angle of depression to Mission. Where do angles of depression go? Down from what? From the horizontal. So the plane is going to fly this way, and the angle is going to go down. Where does the 15 go? X or Y? People are saying X and Y. I'm not going to say one way or the other until somebody tells me the right answer and sticks with it. Yashvinder, please tell me where angles of depression go again. No. Don't tell me X or Y. Describe them to me. Angles of depression go up or down from where? From where? From the horizontal. Where is there a horizontal line here? No. Yes, X is where the answer is. This is the 15 degrees. Why is it the 15 degrees? Because this is the horizontal, and I go down from it. Okay? Kids have a lot of problem with this question. Now, this 2,500 is the same as this 2,500, isn't it? So this can be over here. Now, do I have a triangle? Yes. What do I know about that triangle? Do I have a theta? What is it? 15. What else do I have? Once I have an angle that I'm working with, there I am. I'm happy. There's my hair. Wait. Let's do it right. There's my gray hair. What do I have? I have an opposite. Of what, Fawaz? 2,500. What do I need? I need the adjacent. Why do I need the adjacent? Because I want to know horizontally how far Mission is. If I want to know actually how far Mission is from the plane, which side would I be looking for? The hypotenuse. Because the plane's here, and this is the actual distance, isn't it? All right. But that's not what I want. So there's my unknown. Now, what equation uses O and A and theta? Tan of 15 equals O, 2,500 over X. Letters on the bottom, so what math is it? Division. 2,500 divided by tan 15, and that will give you your answer. Now, guys, some of you, quite a few of you actually, had never done trig before. It's going fast. But please notice, it's always the same thing. It's a triangle and then one of three options, right? And if you write it out, it even tells you which option to do, right? The getting good at trig is simply a matter of practicing it. Those of you that have already done trig, I hope that you are feeling slightly more enlightened with your second time through. Number 11 is the next type of question that no kid does right. Most kids can draw the triangle, but they can't do the question. What does the triangle look like for that? Should it look like the triangle we drew for Abby flying in a plane? Why? Because the road starts where? On the ground and goes where? What? It goes up. So there's the road, yeah? What do we know about that road? It goes up by 1 meter. So there's the up is 1. For every 19 meters, where, Fawaz? Along the road. Where's the road? It's here, right? So where's the 19 go? The 19's got to go there, doesn't it? Because if I'm driving in a car, I got to drive up that road, don't I? I don't drive through the middle of the mountain and then get an elevator up the top, do I? No. So that is my triangle. I want to know, how far does the car travel horizontally when I go 300 meters along the road? Right? So the triangle that I care about is 300 along the road. Correct? Everybody with me? Now we're in a bit of trouble, aren't we? Because this is the triangle that I care about over here. I care about triangle 2. But can I do any work with triangle 2 right now? Why not? I only have one piece of information, don't I? How many pieces of information do I need to do trig? 2. I need a side and an angle, or I need 2 sides to create an angle, don't I? Which triangle has 2 sides to create an angle? Triangle 1. So can I find red theta or black theta in triangle 1? I can find both of them, can't I? Right? Which one is more useful to me? Or does it matter? Doesn't matter. Because if I have either one of these 2 angles, red theta or black theta, and I have red theta or black theta over here, can I still find this horizontal one? Yeah, because once I have 2 pieces of information, I know everything in a triangle, don't I? So which one do you want to find? Does it even matter? Doesn't matter, does it? If I'm going to find red theta, I don't know what it is. But I do know that it's got an what? Opposite of 1 and an adjacent of 19? And hypotenuse of 19. So, since I need an angle, what do I need to use? Shift something. Shift what? Why is it sine? Because it's O and H. So if I go shift sine of 1 over 19, I'm going to get that number, aren't I? What is it? Pardon? 3. So that's 3 degrees. Now I come over here. Do I have a theta? 3. And I need the horizontal distance. Which is horizontal? X or Y? X is horizontal. I need this. So my adjacent is X, and my hypotenuse is now 300. What uses A and H? Cos. Cos 3 equals X over 300. Numbers on the bottom, what math is it? Multiplication to get the answer. And what do you get? And what do you get? And what do you get? 299.6. Does that make sense? Of course it does. It's shorter than the hypotenuse, right? And 3 degrees is going up like that much. So does it make sense that we didn't go very far? Sure it does. Because the triangle would really look like this, wouldn't it? Of course, these two are going to be close to each other. There's another way to solve that question too. I'm going to take a moment to show you it. You do not have to write down what I'm about to do if you do not wish to. Those are similar triangles, aren't they? Right? So doesn't 19 over 300 have to equal all the same comparisons? So if I know this side right here, can I figure this side out over here? Yeah. How would I find the third side of this triangle? What finds the third side of a right angle triangle? He waited patiently. Starts with a P, ends with an S, has Pythagora in the middle of it. Yeah, you guys got it first guess. So this side right here is the square root of 19 squared minus 1, right? Which is the square root of 360. So if this side is the square root of 360, it's 18.97. So now I know that 19 over 300 has to equal 18.97 over x, because this is the number I want. Then I can use cross multiplying to solve it without even doing any trig. Again, why am I showing you that? Because the more mathematical tools you have in your toolbox, the easier math will be for you for the rest of your days. Some people like to do that question that way. Some people like to do it with trig. Some people say, I'm doing a trig unit. I'm going to practice trig as much as I can. That's fine. I'm just letting you know there's other ways to do these questions. There's more than one way to peel an orange. Get it? I didn't say there's more than one way to skin a cat because that's a disgusting expression. And I like cats. I'm a cat guy. I'm not a dog guy, but I have a dog. But that's because I have a family. And I'm a family guy. Not the family guy, because I'm not fat and stupid like Peter Griffin. But, you know. All right. Determine the area of this rectangle. What do I need to find the area of a rectangle? I need a length and a width, don't I? Where's length and width in that rectangle? There's width, there's length, yes? Can I find them? How? Triangle, isn't it? Do I have two pieces of information for that triangle? So can I solve it? What do I know about that triangle? Which is what, Fawaz? 21. What else do I know? Hypotenuse, which is what? 12.7. What do I need to know? I need an adjacent, which equals L, and I need an opposite, which equals W. Does it matter which one I do first? No. What's the only trig thing I cannot do right now? I can't do tan. Why? Because I have no opposite or adjacent, right? But I can do either sine or cos. Does it matter which one I do? No. Is there a right way to do this? No. You do whichever one you want. Once you know one of these, do you automatically know the other one? Yeah, because you can either do tan or Pythagoras, right? So you guys go ahead and you figure the rest of this one out. Just out of curiosity, how many people are going to do sine? How many people are going to do cos? And that was only like half the class. So half the class is doing nothing. Okay, fair enough. I guess that means I should do this one. I personally am going to go with sine. Okay. Something up there should be bothering some of you. These are the three answers I got. Something up there should be bothering you. How many of you have answers close to what I have? I'm getting to it. Yeah, you're exactly right. Is this answer really 4.6? No, it was 4.55724, blah, blah, blah. Is this answer really 11.9? No, it was 11.85, blah, 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 right? So when you round to 4.6 and 11.9, you actually get 54.74. Right? Which you would round up to 55, wouldn't you? But if you use these numbers whole on your calculator, like I told you is better, you get 54. Do I care? No, because this is not a course in rounding. This is a course in trig. You understand? Okay? Because what your answer should have looked like was 12.7 cos 21, 11.85, see? So here's what I like to do to make sure I get the best possible answer. I do not do this at all. Here is what I mean, okay? Some of you care about getting the best possible answers. Once I have W equals that, and L equals that, I know area is length times width, isn't it? Well, L is 12.7 cos 21, right? Times W, 12.7 sine 21. And if I put all that into my calculator, I get the best answer. Does everybody understand? Not a big deal in math class, because very rarely in math class are we measuring anything, are we? We're doing math for the sake of doing math. Understand? But if you choose to go into physics, right? Or architecture or something like that, then the measurements matter, don't they? So I want you to see how you can get the best possible answer by leaving stuff on your calculator. Everybody okay with that? I don't care if you do it or not. But when you go further in other classes, they might. You understand? So keep your eye open for it. Cool? And this is where I'm going to stop on number 13 and let you guys either practice some trig or prepare for your test. But we're going to do number 13. I want to find the length of MN. Where is MN? It's on the far right. I need that, correct? Which means I need two pieces of information that go with that triangle, yes? So I'm going to make that triangle. I need two pieces of info for that yellow triangle. Do I have one of them? Yep, right there. So I have a theta, but I don't have the other one. Fortunately for me, there's this green triangle. Do I have two pieces of information for that green triangle? Yes. What are they? I've got a theta of 33, and I've got, what is that 8.2? It's a hypotenuse, yes? So I also have a hypotenuse of 8.2. Now, when I have the theta and the hypotenuse, I can find everything on the green triangle, can't I? But I only need one other thing on the green triangle, don't I? Do I need X or do I need Y to do this question? I need Y. So I'm going to forget about X because I don't need them. I give this question a million times and I get students, they find everything on this page. And it takes them like an hour. Did I need that? Did I need X? No. So I'm not even going to find it. I need Y. Now, is that Y compared to my 33? Is that an adjacent or an opposite? It's an adjacent. So my adjacent equals Y. What uses A and H? Cosine, correct? So this cos 33 equals adjacent Y over hypotenuse 8.2. Number on the bottom, multiply or divide. 8.2 cos 33 equals Y. Now I'm going to stop there for a second because most of you want to find this right now, don't you? But it's the same problem that we had up top, right? If I leave that like that, I can get a better answer. Do you follow me? Okay. Now, the only reason I'm making a big deal out of this, by the time you guys get to grade 12, they may have changed their mind and they may make you do provincial exams again. And this is the type of multiple choice question that provincial exam people love. Because this question up here, choice A would have been 55 and choice D would have been 54. Which one would have been correct? The 54. Because that's the best answer, right? That's why I'm making a big deal out of this right now. So I'm going to leave that like this. Everybody cool with that? Then I'm going to go over to the yellow one over here. Do I have a theta for my yellow triangle? Yeah, it's 49. Do I have a hypotenuse for my yellow triangle? Yes, I do. It's that, isn't it? Because the hypotenuse of the yellow triangle is the y from the green triangle, yes? And I know that y is that. So my hypotenuse is 8.2 cos 33, isn't it? And I need to find this side. What is this side compared to theta? Is this the opposite, the adjacent, or the hypotenuse? My opposite is down here. I'm going to make that x. What uses O and H? Sine 49 equals opposite x over hypotenuse, which is 8.2 cos 33. Numbers on the bottom. So what is it? Multiply or divide? Multiply. So 8.2 times cos 33 times sine 49 will get you your best possible answer. This is best possible. Is everybody cool with that? Do you have to do it that way for my class in this room in grade 10? No. Are you allowed to find this over here and round it? Yes. Is everybody with me? But some of you may be considering going into doing physics 11, physics 12. Then you're going to want to be able to do this side of things. Does everybody understand? Now to punch that into your calculator, you'd punch it exactly the same way. Over here, you had to do 8.2 times cos 33. So all you do is you take that and do it over here and then push times sine 49, and you will still get the answer. Is everybody cool? You choose what way you want to do these. All right? Everybody good? Okay, it's 8. I lied, it's 8:50. I'm going to shut up. All right, so these trees are 55 yards apart. If they're 55 yards apart, then how far is that? 27.5. And how far is that? 27.5. So I now have two triangles. One of them, red theta, equals 34. Adjacent equals 27.5. And opposite is what I need. The other one, black theta, equals 29. Its adjacent is 27.5, and its opposite is what I need. I need the height of each tree. So, of course, A and O is tan. Tan 34 equals x over 27.5. 27.5 times tan 34 equals, over here, it's going to be 27.5 times tan 29 equals. And I'm going to leave it like that because it takes time to punch that into my calculator. There's no need for me to punch into my calculator because if you can get it to there, you should be able to go 27.5 times tan 29, right? Ekti. Like, let's say you forgot your calculator. Yeah. Of course, I would give you full marks for that. Absolutely, I would. This question, a lot of people don't know how to read that. What does that mean? It means G to H to J. You need this whole angle here. Okay? So to do that, you have this triangle, which is GHJ, and you need that theta. You know that's 6, but you need 2 pieces of information, don't you? So you're screwed there. But in this triangle, you have 2 pieces of information, don't you? So if you can find this, and add it to that, Does that give you that whole bottom? Yes. How do you find that blue x? Pythagoras. Square root of 9 squared minus 6 squared, which is the square root of 81 minus 36, which is 51, square root of 45, which is going to be 6.7, somebody said? 6.7. So that means this whole bottom is how long? 10.7. Now, what do I have? I have a theta that I do not know. I have an opposite of 10.7, and I have an adjacent of 6. O and A is tan. So tan, since I want an angle, it's shift tan of x equals opposite, 10.7, over adjacent, 6. And I'm going to leave it there. Everybody cool? Okay. Again, you can go back and watch the videos. If you haven't done any of these, you should make sure you try them. Now, this type of question is problematic for a lot of kids. Why? The math isn't that hard. It's one step. What makes word problems difficult? The wording. If you don't know what a guy wire is, can you do this question? Not really. But you do actually know what a guy wire is. There, yeah, you do. When I show you the drawing, you're going to know what it is. There's a tower, yes? Because towers go straight up in the air, right? It's supported by 2 guy wires. Where do you put a support? On the sides. They're anchored to the same point on the ground. So out here, I got a point on the ground. There's 2 wires. One goes up there. The other goes up there. That's a guy wire. Those wires that are on the side of tall towers. You have seen them. Now, one of them is 32. The other one is 56. I want to know the length of the 2 wires. So I have this triangle, which is 8 meters away and 32. And I have this triangle, which is 8 meters away and 56. I want to know how much wire I have to buy. So I need that distance and that distance. Those are both what? Which side? They're both hypotenuses, yes? Hypotenae. I don't think that's the right word. So this guy, I have I want to work that guy in red. This guy, I have theta of 32, adjacent of 8, and I need a hypotenuse. So what do I got to use? Sine, cos, or tan? Cos. Over here, same thing. Theta of 56, adjacent of 8, and hypotenuse of, I don't know. So then, cos 32 equals 8 over x. Letter on the bottom, so what is it? 8 divided by cos 32 equals x. And over here, we know it's going to be 8 divided by cos 56 to get y. What do I do with those 2 numbers? Add them. Everybody cool? Okay. Now, what you guys should be noticing as we go through this, if you're not writing it down, I'm noticing every time I look up, I'm seeing a lot more of this than I was even 20 minutes ago. Why is that? Because Trig keeps building on the same stuff, right? It's always sine, cos, or tan. And you get to a point where you don't even need to write this out. When I'm doing this, when I'm making the keys to your test, do you think I write this out? No. Oh, my man, Peeping Tom. Peeping Tom stands on the 13th floor of his apartment building. So here's Tom. He's how far off the ground? 13 floors or 130 feet. Everyone agree? Excellent. He looks across the window and he sees across the street with his telescope at night, and he sees Elizabeth with an angle of inclination of 10. Where does inclination go? Up. So Tom is looking straight across, and then he looks up to Elizabeth at 10. He also looks down and sees Sandra down here. Now here's where you're going to screw up. Where is the angle of depression? X or Y? Oh! Of course it's X, because angles of depression and inclination measure from where? The horizontal, straight up or straight down. Tom looks across here. He's trying to see if there's anybody to peep at over here. Is there? No. So he's got to raise his eyes. Ooh, there's a hottie. Or look down. Ooh, there's a hottie. Okay, you've all seen movies where guys do this. We know what happens. So this is 40. I want to know how many floors separate Sandra and Elizabeth. So I need to know this distance, yes? There's X, there's Y, and I got to add them, don't I? Once I have it drawn, you should be able to do it, yes? Once I have it drawn, you should be able to do it, right? If this is 130, what's this? 130. Do I now have two pieces of information for the bottom triangle? 40 and 130, correct? So if I get this piece right here, which I'm going to call A, I got theta equals 40, opposite equals 130, and my adjacent equals A. What uses O and A? Tan 40 equals 130 over A. So A equals 130 divided by tan 40. Once I have A, can I find X? I have a new theta of 10. I have an adjacent of whatever this is, correct? This number right there. And I have an opposite of X, that red X, right? Once I find that red X, what do I do with X plus 130? I just add it to find the whole distance. Everybody cool? A roof has the shape of an isosceles triangle. If you don't know what an isosceles triangle is, can you do this question? You can't, because you don't know what an isosceles triangle is. Now, if I give you a test, and I put that question on it, and you don't know what an isosceles triangle is, can you ask me? Of course you can, because it's a test on trig, isn't it? It's not a test on triangles. I'm not telling you how to do trig, I'm giving you a definition. Does everybody understand that? You cannot come up to me and say, what do I do next? You cannot come up to me and say, is this right? You cannot come up to me and say, if I square root that, is it going to be right? No, I will not tell you that, because that's what the test is on. But can you come up to me and say, Mr. Myers, I don't know what an isosceles triangle is. Yes, I will tell you. Shireen, please do. That's how you all sound in my head. I'm just kidding. You don't sound that way. I'm just joking. But you're not, because I sound like the teachers on Charlie Brown to you. Which is why I wear a Charlie Brown t-shirt every so often. I wore a Charlie Brown t-shirt like 2 days ago. You've never seen Charlie Brown once in your life. You've never seen Charlie Brown Halloween special. It's Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Nothing? Really? How many of you have never seen a Charlie Brown cartoon? Good gravy. No. Because based on that test I just marked, we can't waste a lot of time in math class. Oh, yeah! So an isosceles triangle is just this. It says those guys are the same. If those guys are the same, what do you know about these two thetas? They're the same. I want to know what that angle of inclination is. So I got to cut that in half, which makes this how long? 6. Okay? So I have this triangle. 8, 6, I lie. Worst kind of liar. 6, and I need theta. Since it's theta, I need to shift, right? And I have adjacent and I have hypotenuse. So it's cos of theta is adjacent 6 over hypotenuse, 8. And now another building question. From the roof of Yi's building. So here's Yi up on his roof. The angle of elevation to the top of a taller building. So if I'm measuring an angle of elevation, I must have what to start with? I must have a horizontal. Yi is looking this way. Now he looks up 37. 37. And then he looks down 28. Where is the 28? X or Y? Stop!
X. Yeah.
All right. He's going to take a minute with this and be happy that you guys figured it out there. And you didn't even need to really stop and think. I was trying to get you to stop and think, because normally, why? It's why. You know what? You must have had one hell of a summer school teacher. You know you're here right now, right? And you know that you have a teacher in here, right? I'm complimenting myself. I know.
Maybe not. Look at that.
28 degrees. The buildings are 21 meters apart. I want to know how tall the taller building is. So I need what two measurements? I need that and I need that. Right? The top one, I have theta of 37, adjacent of 21, and an opposite of y. The bottom one, I have theta of 28, an adjacent of 21, and an opposite of x. What uses O and A? Tan. So, tan 37 equals y over 21. Tan, 28 equals x over 21. So that is multiply. 21 tan 37. And that is 21 tan 28. What do I do with those two numbers to find the height of the building? Add. And that will give you your answer. Hockily dockily? Oakley dokley. Oakley dokley, neighborino. But none of you guys watch The Simpsons anymore because it sucks now. It used to be super wicked awesome. And now it's lame. And all you guys watch bad cartoons like Family Guy.
Family Guy's lame.
No, Family Guy is stupid. Yeah. You know what really grinds my gears? People that say, you know what really grinds my gears? My son did that to me yesterday. We're sitting at dinner. Dad, you know what really grinds my gears? People that say, you know what really grinds my gears? He's like, oh. And then what did he tell me? I can't even remember what was grinding his gears. What were we eating last night for dinner? Roast beef. Something about roast beef. I can't remember. The bird is the word. Two boys are standing on opposite sides of a mountain. Mountain. One boy is over here. Let's call him Amrit. The other boy is over here. Let's call him Akash. This is something math teachers do to make you more interested in wanting to do math. That's why you'll have noticed that current textbooks have many more ethnic names in them. When I went to school, everybody in the textbook was Mike or John or Jason or Mary. Right? But now, because Canada is much more diverse, when you read textbooks, there's many more diverse names in it. That's to fool you guys into doing math. You'll also notice that when you read in your textbook, they are all over Canada. So-and-so lives in Winnipeg. Who cares where they live? Right? It doesn't matter where they live to do math. Right? Next time you get your hands on a textbook, flip through it and notice those things. That is to trick you into caring more about math. Because you will do more math if you live in Winnipeg and the question mentions Winnipeg, according to the people that write textbooks. I don't really know why. I know, right? It doesn't matter, right? It's stupid. But people like to do that. So Amrit and Akash are on the other side of Mount Baker, because it's right there. Right? Okay.
This is a question then.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm going to do my math. The peak of the mountain is 1,350 feet above them. Where is the 1,350? Okay, great. Where is it measured from? The bottom. Okay. Over here or over here? In the middle. There is the 1350. The angles of elevation are 65 and 50. To do an angle of elevation, where do I have to start? Horizontal. One of them is 65 and one of them is 50. Does it matter which is which? No. 65, 50. I want to know how far they will have to hike to meet at the top. So Amrit wants to go, and then Akash wants to go, and then they want to sit at the top and say, hey, look, we can see lots of stuff. Okay? Because we started in Abbotsford and we're climbing Mount Baker, you're both going to not only do the math, you're also going to hike the mountain. Okay. I have a teenage son. He doesn't do a lot of hiking. Now, I shouldn't assume. You guys big hikers? No? Oh. Not your thing? It's not your jam? Okay. So where was I? So I need to know this distance, which is what? Well, you don't know it, but what is it in the triangle? It's a hypotenuse, yes? And what's this distance? It's another hypotenuse. So since I have to find hypotenuses, can I use tan? No, it's got to be sine or cos. Since I don't know the adjacent, I must be doing sine. Sine of 65 equals opposite 1350 over h. And this one, sine of 50 equals 1350 over h. How are you going to solve those two? Amrit.
1350 divided by
Yeah! 1350 over sine 65. I actually did have a student that I used to say sin. And the kid was like, Mr. Myers, you can't say sin. Because it's a sin. And I was like, okay. And I stopped saying sin. It was just easier. And what's this one? 1350 over sine 50. Then what do you do with those? The question says, determine the total distance. What do you do with those two numbers? Add them. Is everybody good with trig? Okay, now listen to me. Yes. I'm waiting. Oh, thanks, buddy. Okay, so, yo, I've heard many times of 50 Cent. Do I wish that the Bullets had finished the job? Yes. I also don't think Tupac deserves a movie. No, it's not. I don't like their music, and I don't like the image that those two men project. No, it's not because they're not South African. They are American of African descent. What I hate about hip-hop music is how it treats women.
Nickelback for the win.
No, Nickelback's the worst, and you must know that about me. I can't stand that band. I think they should also go far, far away. I don't mind Guns N' Roses back in the day. Now I think Axl Rose is a moron. Huh? Who doesn't like the Beatles? Crazy people. The Beatles are awesome. The thing I do not like about hip-hop music, Amrit, is how it treats women. And none of you can argue with me on that. I am so tired of hearing about how Kanye West is going to find yet another hoe and straighten her out. Right? I cannot stand hip-hop music because it is sexist. And it's quite racist as well. But it's all right to be racist if you're a person of color. According to those people.
That is not right.
Of course it's not right. Racism is just wrong. End of discussion.
There's like some good rappers.
There are some good rappers. They were like 25 years ago. Public Enemy, Cypress Hill. I know. NWA. Right. Rappers that had messages. And there were also white rappers with good messages. The Beastie Boys, Eminem. Now the problem with Eminem, actually, I don't mind saying, I believe Lose Yourself is one of the greatest pieces of music ever recorded. I think it's amazing. I think it's incredible. It is actual poetry. But then, 2 days later, he puts out I'm Slim Shady, I'm the Real Shady, which is not poetry. That's stupid. Anything else? Yash? No. Is it hip-hop?
Yeah.
Then I don't waste my time. What?
You said you like NWA?
I said I can respect NWA's message.
F.
Yes. No, I haven't. It came out in 1987. Don't you think that was pretty big deal for 7th grade Mr. Myers? Oh my God, did you hear about those guys from LA? They want the police. Oh my God. But the police are so nice. Why would you do that to the police? They help you.
I downloaded that.
Of course you do. Anyways, I am not a fan of hip-hop. We'll leave it at that. Huh? My music genre is varied. Anything, mostly as long as real instruments are being played, I enjoy it. I don't have a lot of time for electronica. I don't have a lot of time for ambient stuff. I don't have a lot of time for samples. I don't have a lot of time for dub. I don't have a lot of time for, and all the crazy stuff that goes with it. I like music to be played on instruments and sung by people. No, it doesn't have to be heavy metal. I'm a huge fan of a lot of very quiet music. I just like good music. But the problem with that is good is subjective. What I think is good, you guys don't. I highly doubt any of you are big fans of the Lumineers, whereas I think they're geniuses. I highly doubt many of you are big fans of the 1980s glam band Dangerous Toys, but they're awesome. None of you have ever heard of them.
I'll definitely listen to it.
No, you won't. You will say you will. You will go home and you might YouTube. What was that stupid band name? Dangerous Toys? You'll watch one video and be like, oh my God, these guys suck. And that's okay. I'm all right with that. You can have that opinion. Your mom does not know who Dangerous Toys are. I guarantee you she doesn't. That is really digging through the vaults. They had one album. They had one album.
Why do you think that?
Because it was a good album. Just because you only have one album doesn't mean you're a bad group. Think about how many artists had one hit song. If the song is good, it's good. Right? What's that chick that sings Friday? I don't know what her name is. She stunk. But she had a hit song. But who cares? All right. So as I was saying before you guys got me off topic, which really only hurts you, not me, because I already passed Math 10.
I want to get into seatbelts.
So Monday, the review, which begins on page 73. That is due Monday. When it ends. When the next unit starts. 73 to 76. Now listen to me. You will see that I left you a blank page on page 72 that says test review. I'm going to do that on Monday. I'm going to put everything about Trig on one page so it's easy to study for you for your test on Tuesday. Okay, I put it all there. All the SOHCAHTOAs, all the tricks I can possibly think of that would mess with your head. I'm going to give you basically a cheat sheet so you know exactly what to study. That test, no, you cannot take it into the test. You have to study it. Just like when you go for your driver's test, you don't get to have your mom in the back seat saying, now remember to signal, Ekdeep. Okay? You got to actually at some point know how to drive to get a driving license. Okay? Anyways, I will do that on Monday. Also on Monday, we will be moving on to our next unit, which is square roots, exponents. Okay? Everybody's like, oh, great. Everybody good? You have 25 minutes left today. If I stop talking, all of you are immediately going to start talking. That is why I made sure I left you with an assignment. If you don't want... If you don't want homework for the weekend, you could quite easily get that review done in 25 minutes. If you work hard.
And you don't review this.